I recently went on a trip with one bag. Just one bag. That's it. No laptop bag, no purse. Nada, zip, zilch. One bag only. And this was that bag. In this video, I will share with you what I learned about one bag travel, and I will walk you through the tool that made this possible. Let's do this. I will admit this wasn't my first rodeo with one bag travel. In 2019, I actually did a series of different trips with one bag travel theme, using different bags for each trip. I wrote extensively about it in an article on my website called The Best Carry-On Backpack for One Bag Travel. In the article, I cover the basics of one bag travel and the specific top-rated travel backpacks that I used, and I even shared my specific packing lists for each trip. I may create a separate video about the nuances of one bag travel, but for the time being, if you'd like that information, please check out my article. I'll leave a link in the description. This video will focus more on my most recent one bag travel trip that I took with the Tortuga 40-liter travel backpack. I'll walk through the pack and its features so you can decide if you want to take this puppy on your next trip. And you don't have to go all in with one bag either, because I don't know about you, but one bag travel does not float my boat for a variety of reasons that I may or may not get into tangentially. Here are the overall Tortuga 40-liter travel backpack features. First up, size. This bag has a 40-liter capacity and the dimensions are 21.7 by 13.8 by 7.9 inches. Most airlines allow carry-on bags that are 22 by 14 by 9, which means that this will be allowable as carry-on and it'll fit in the overhead bin on most US domestic flights. You might have some difficulty on international flights and airlines, especially budget ones, that sometimes have smaller carry-on size limits. Some airlines allow you to pay a bit extra for a full-sized carry-on bag, but some don't. Either way, I encourage you to research the carry-on regulations for any airlines that you fly with frequently to make sure this backpack will be a good fit for you. And as a note, this backpack also comes in a smaller 30-liter size. Next up, material. It's made of a super durable, waterproof sailcloth material. It's made from recycled polyester, saving 25 water bottles from landfills for each bag. I don't tend to prioritize waterproof material. Most luggage is at least water resistant anyway, and I generally thought that was enough. But I cannot tell you how thankful I was for having this particular backpack with me on this recent trip because, well, I'll just show you. So I am taking a test trip with my Tortuga 40-liter backpack, and I'm on a small plane, and I was taking it as my only bag, one bag travel. Lucky for me, I also took a packable backpack in it, and I had the presence of mind to take out a few things that I would need on the flight, like my laptop and some other items, because everybody had to gate check their things because I'm on a small plane. So then I became really grateful that it is waterproof, because then to get on this tiny plane, we had to actually leave the airport and go outside and drop our gate check bags on on a soaking wet luggage rack. So thank goodness for waterproof, and thank goodness for the packable backpack making this one bag travel trip possible. Overall, the durability of this pack and the waterproof properties make it a versatile backpack, not just for travel, but also for outdoor adventures. For example, I would totally take this pack with me on a multi-day hiking trip or a long distance through hike like the Camino de Santiago. The YKK zippers are water resistant and lockable, and the buckles are solid. And on the whole, this pack feels super sturdy. Next up, weight. This pack weighs 4.5 pounds or 2 kilograms. It's pretty light, lighter than pretty much all rolling luggage. If I compare it to Osprey's travel backpack that's also 40 liters, this is heavier by about 1 pound. I would attribute this to the thickness and durability of the material of this pack. But frankly, I wouldn't sweat the extra pound. If you like what this pack offers, I wouldn't let it be a deal breaker. Now, before I show you the inside, let us look at the harness system. These shoulder straps and the back of the pack are very, very thick. They have lots of foam padding for comfort. It's also fully height adjustable, and there's an entire page on the Tortuga website to help you adjust this harness system for your exact height. The sternum strap also helps to balance it all, and the hip belt at the bottom can be removed if you don't want to use it. Though I will admit, I removed the hip belt from my trip because I didn't think my pack was that heavy and I didn't want to futz around with the hip strap, and I totally regretted it. Another cool feature of the hip belt is this little zippered pocket to keep a few things close at hand while the pack is on your back. And this is on both sides of the hip belt. Okay, let's walk through the inside of the pack. And I'm going to start with the very front pocket. It's right here on top. There's not much to it, but you can fit sunglasses and small items, and there's a handy little key clip. The next pocket on the inside here unzips about halfway, and then you can fold it back to see what you can keep in here. You can keep, there's a pocket here that just goes about a little ways down. Might be good for an e-reader. There's a few little pockets here for cards and small items. There's another zippered pocket here. And this does go right down to the very bottom. There are some water bottle pockets, one on each side. Now, there's some pros and cons to this water bottle pocket. First of all, it's very streamlined to the pack, and no matter what the size of your water bottle is, it will fit in here with a caveat that I'll get to in a minute, and it will fit in here very snugly. The problem I have is it's almost like the elastic that holds this water bottle pocket tight to the pack is so strong, and the water bottle pocket itself is just small enough that it does not fit my 1 liter bottle gracefully. I can fit it, but only just, and only if I don't have enough stuff, so much stuff on the inside that it pushes out on the water bottle pocket. So if you have a water bottle that is 500 mil or 750 mil, you might have a better time with these pockets than I did. I'll get to the middle main compartment in a second, but before that, I will show you the laptop compartment, which is right near the back. I love it when the laptop compartment is near the back. I feel, for me, it's the most secure. And here we have, now, the zippers, as you can see, only go down maybe a quarter of the way down the pack. This is a little bit of a challenge for me in accessing this pocket because this pocket goes right down to the very bottom, but you really gotta dig to get to the bottom. There are also padded laptop sleeves. There's a padded laptop and tablet sleeve, and then there's a zippered compartment here. But if you want to keep much, and as you should probably, keep a few things at the bottom of the pack to keep all your tech gear together and weighed out in the right way, it is going to be a little bit difficult to get to the bottom of this particular pocket. Now, if I felt that the back pocket didn't open up enough, well, the main compartment is the exact opposite. It is a clamshell style opening, which you can keep a ton of stuff in here. Not much in terms of organizational elements here. There's just the mesh side zippered pocket here, and then the main pocket here. So generally speaking, I would say if you're going to use this, this pocket, because it's as cavernous as it is, I personally like to use some organizational components like packing cubes to keep things all together. Now, the one beef that I have with this and using this pack regularly is I kept a bunch of stuff in the front pocket of this pack, and I, of course, have my tech in the back pocket. What that means is opening this pack up clamshell style means I was also having to kind of like lift all the stuff that was in this part and move it over, which sometimes, you know, got everything in here mixed up. Or just a little bit more jumbled. It felt a little bit more awkward to open it up and open it and close it regularly as I was on the trip that I took this on, because I was moving around a little bit and I needed to open and close my pack fairly regularly. One easy way, though, around that would simply be to not use it clamshell style. You could easily just open it up as much as you want and then just work with it by putting things in and organizing it this way. Now, just a couple of quick notes about one bag travel in general. First of all, so we can all get on the same page, one bag travel is, as it sounds, traveling with just one bag. No personal laptop bag, no personal item bag, nothing. Frankly, it's not my preference. But I tend to go away for long periods of time, and I also tend to bring a lot of tech gear with me. So one bag travel on the whole is pretty impractical for my personal needs. But if you're going away for a shorter period of time, or you don't have as much tech gear as I do, it could work out great for you. I took this on a week-long trip to a conference, and it totally did the trick. Earlier in this video, in the clip where I was on the airplane, I mentioned that I brought a packable backpack with me. As far as I'm concerned, a packable backpack like this one is a 100% essential piece of travel gear, no matter what kind of luggage you bring with you. But if you were traveling with just one bag, like this backpack, a packable backpack is even more essential. When I was told that all passengers had to gate check their bags, I would have been completely screwed without the packable backpack, because I had to take out my electronics, my medication, my fragile items that couldn't go into the cargo hold in this pack. And if I didn't have my packable backpack, I wouldn't have had anywhere to put it all. I bestow the glories of packable backpacks in another video, which I will link to in the description if you're interested in learning more about packable backpacks. But even beyond the travel day itself, once you arrive at your destination, this backpack is entirely too large to serve as a day pack for smaller excursions around town. So regardless, you'll need a smaller bag that you can use at your destination, and a packable backpack is great for that. Now, on the whole, I have a wee confession to make. I'm not a big fan of travel backpacks, or more appropriately, my back is not a fan of travel backpacks. On the whole, if I have a choice between rolling and carrying, I am always going to choose rolling luggage. I totally should have brought the hip belt with me on the trip that I took this pack with, because I'm sure that would have helped. And I'll also admit that there will still be trips in the future that I will choose to bring this bag on. Specifically, trips that have some kind of outdoor adventure component to it, where rolling luggage would be inappropriate or even impossible to bring along. And the ruggedness and the waterproof qualities of this backpack would be valuable. Tortuga did send me this backpack for free to review, but I was under no obligation to create this video, and all opinions are my own. If you're interested in buying this pack, and if you click on the link in the description, I will earn a small commission for anything that you buy from Tortuga. This doesn't affect your price at all, but it does help me support this channel, so I do thank you in advance for your support. In the meantime, I'm Nora Dunn, aka the Professional Hobo, and I'll catch you next time.